एकम् अक्षरं हृदि निरन्तरं भासते स्वयं लिख्यते कथम् हृदयकुहरमध्ये केवलं मात्रम् अहम् इति साक्षात् आत्मरूपेण भाति हृदि विषमनसा चिन्वता मज्जता चलनरोधा आत्मनिष्ठो देहं मृण्मयवत् जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तत् भावशुक्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भाव ओहं भावयुत कुतो रव्यः दृष्टात्मनिष्टात्मना सोहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचल शिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं सोहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचल शिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं. Namo Ramana. In this, the Thursday Satsang from Ramanacentre for Learning, we have this practice of selecting two verses from the work Guruvachaka Kovai by Muruganar Swamigal. The verse selection is done by Revatima. It is done randomly. We read each verse, and each verse reading is followed by a short meditation on its meaning, and that is followed by a 15-minute practice of self-enquiry. After these two segments of verse reading, meditation on its meaning, and practice of Atma Vicharam are completed, there will be summing up remarks by Venkatesh Deshpande ji on the two verses, and that will be followed by the offering of Sri Ramana Ashtotram. The chanting will be by Vaibhavji and Prarthnama online. We will be offering ourselves with the enquiry as to who is the listener, who is listening to the Shabda. With Bhagavan's immense grace, we begin the satsang by taking the first verse selected for us, verse number 518. 518, we find in the segment meditation on the truth. The first segment is investigation into truth. The second segment is meditation on the truth. And the third segment is experience of the truth, Anubhava. We find 518 is in the middle, in the meditation on the truth. And the subsegment is Upasana, meaning worship. Upasana, meaning worship. The verse 518. For the worship of God, whose luster never fades, each day's presiding stars are auspicious, and each day's presiding planets are beneficial. The planetary conjunctions on each and every day are deeply auspicious. On any particular day, the astrological periods that prevail are all full of propitiousness and suitable for worship. There is a whole set of verses and supports given. I will read Bhagavan's verse from Padamalai. If one carefully determines the most auspicious day to perform self-enquiry, the one good action, there is no other day like today. So there is this famous question to Jesus in the Bible, where a woman who has just then started praying, but has a lot of sincerity in prayer, asks, where and when should we pray? In which place and which propitious time, auspicious time should we pray? And Jesus says that prayer is to be done in spirit. Therefore, it is to be done all the time and in every place. Prayer is not done in the body, which is trapped in time and space. The body is trapped in time and space. So the prayer is not something that's merely done with the lip service. It should be done in your spirit, which is beyond time and space. Therefore, every moment in time and every spot in space is auspicious, is propitious, is propitious. That is, propitiousness is something that reduces your karma, is most appropriate to do that prayer. That is what is the instruction of that spiritual teacher, and it is most appropriate that we, especially in the southern part of India, of which I don't know much about the culture in other parts of India, but in this part of India, we have auspicious time, and definitely we have auspicious places. That the retired life of most of us is spent in pilgrimages. Nothing wrong with that. Mind you, I am not finding any fault with that. Then I am not praying in spirit. It is not to find fault with time and space, but to be free, that which is the Rahu Kalam, which is the Yamakandam, which is the appropriate time. We have done that for years and years. But what is the most appropriate time to do self-enquiry? Because the self is, God is luster, whose luster never fades. He is ever present. That consciousness is irundu olir, is existence consciousness. What is the nature of truth? Nature of the truth is that truth exists and it shines. That is why Bhagavan says that a fragment of that truth is present in you as the fragrance of as I exist. That to know that I exist, I don't need the support of this body. No other bodily person can come and take away the feeling I exist. I don't need the support of the breath. No other breath based being can come and take away. We call Pishachi and other things. They cannot take away the I exist. No other mental beings or my thoughts can give or take away the I exist. This I exist is always shining and is independent of every support. And Bhagavan says that is what is God, that which is self luminous all the time, which is not bound by time or space. Therefore, since it is not bound by time or space, what is the best time? Every moment is the verse mentions as this day. It is traditional to refer to this moment as this day. In tradition, they say, you take care of today, let tomorrow's worries take care of themselves. You worry only of today. What they exactly mean is worry the present moment. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, who is right in the midst of war, he is a philosopher also. He says, if you can take care of the present moment with a calm mind, with a calm interior, then the same calm interior can take care of your entire future. See what a beautiful meditation that is. That is, if this particular moment you are facing your circumstances, he is right in the midst of war, he is getting more or defending Rome, and right in the midst of war, he is writing this meditation. He is saying, if you can be in this circumstance with a calm and peaceful and quiet mind, then the same calm and peaceful and quiet mind can take care of the entire future. Why delineate and see when what is going to happen? All that is required is your inner peace, is what that philosopher writes. So, what is the right moment to do self inquiry? What is the right place to do self inquiry? This moment is the right moment. You need not see the calendar as to what is Rahu Kalam, what is Semakantam, or what is the right place to do. Right now, right here, we can do. That's what we are going to do for the next 15 minutes. When thoughts appear, one should understand that our existence is not given or dependent on that thought. Which Bhagavan says, you exist, don't you? And you know, each one of us knows that independently. He says, that is not dependent on thought. So why do you follow that thought? The thought is not giving you existence. It's not giving you any value. Why do you follow it? So as soon as a thought arises, understand clearly, I am that consciousness who has independent existence. So let me focus on my existence. For whom is this thought? To me. Who am I? I never needed that thought, nor does that thought add any value. So why should I cling to that? Let me hold my own pure existence, which is independent of all upadhis, all supports. And there, the self-luminous self, it rises and shines, free of all impediments. Let us sit in Atma for the next 15 minutes. Ujjwalji will take your help in setting up the time. Thank you.
Shri Ramanaya.
Namo Ramana. We continue by taking up the second verse selected for us 859. This is also in the segment Meditation on the Truth. We find it in the sub-segment the destruction of the ego. The destruction of the ego, 859. Only those in whom the desire for the expansive and infatuating sport of Maya is completely dead will live their lives as Shivam and attain peace. Only those in whom the desire for the expansive and infatuating sport of Maya is completely dead only those will live their lives as Shivam and attain peace. True happiness, therefore, cannot be attained by any means other than the clear shining of the authentic and ever fresh experience of the self. True happiness, therefore, cannot be attained by any means other than the clear shining of the authentic and ever fresh experience of the self. Only those in whom the desire for expansive and infatuating sport of Maya is ended, only they can live a life of Shivam and be at peace. What is this life of Maya? Life of Maya is the expanding sport, he says. Expanding means that which is seen. The scientists say initially in Newton's time and even in Einstein's beginning phases, physics was feeling that the universe is a stage on which on the static stage, everything is played. But then Hubble came, on whom the Hubble's telescope name is there. He discovered that the universe is expanding. How he found is that the stars are moving farther away. The farthest stars are accelerating faster and moving away from us. So the universe is expanding. That is why Maya is said to be infatuating and expanding sport. The more you gamble, the more you feel like gambling. An inveterate gambler who gets rid of that habit is a stand-up comedian. He says 3 times he has become bankrupt. Very rich comedian. Stand-up comedy is a very rich profession in the US if they are really good at it, and he is one of the top comedians. And the questioner asks him, how did you become bankrupt 3 times? He says, I had bet and lost $450,000 and another $50,000 was there in the account. What am I going to do with this? I thought, and I played with that, and that was also gone. And he goes to the psychologist and says, why am I gambling like this? To get rid of the habit. And the psychologist says, you are afraid of facing your own emptiness. You're afraid to face the fact that you are bereft of any support. And to occupy yourself, you are playing this gambling. And this comedian, who is actually quite well inquired into, he says, don't we do everything like that? Whatever we do, is it not merely occupy ourselves and escape the fact that whatever we are occupied with is going to run away. It's a Maya. What we are occupied with and so comfortable with because we are occupied, that is Maya. It is going to vanish from us. And we ourselves are going to be bereft of support if we hold support. So only those who have dropped all supports, like Bhagavan did when he had the death experience, he drops all the upadhis, the physical body, the breath, the mind. When these three are not there, when the expanding sport of Maya is not there, am I dead? He asks. Am I not there? And the pure consciousness rises and shines as I. The Shivam, the Satchit, rises and shines. Only when the objective knowledge is given up, the subjective consciousness, the purity can rise up and hold forth. One more interesting study in physics is that whatever is objective is not fresh. That means it is already in the past. To see anything, either in the thought or in the physical world, light has to go and come back to your eyes. So it takes time for light to come from there to here. So whatever we see is not fresh. It is in the past. Already some moments ago what it was, that only we can see. Therefore, the only thing that is ever fresh is the Atma, is your own self. That is why it is said here that the only real happiness. See, how can you be happy by holding something that is already dead and in the past? So anything that is seen is already in the past, therefore it is not in the present, it is not alive in the present, it is not there. And we have been playing all our lives with this scene. And the verse says, the only real happiness, the ever fresh happiness that is beyond the time is your Atmanishta, is seeing your own self. In seeing your own self, the light does not have to go anywhere and come back. It is self-luminosity. Seeing your own self is self-luminosity. And that is said in the verse as the real happiness, the ever-fresh happiness, the renewing spurana, I. That alone is the Satchit, the real happiness, says the verse. And that is where the Atma Vichara takes us. Any upadhi, any other thought that is actually in the past comes. If you see it, it is in the past. It has all what it was some moments ago, some nanoseconds ago, that only you can see. Therefore, let it go. Why play with the past? Let it go and come to the ever fresh happiness by asking, who am I? And that's what we shall practice for the next 15 minutes. Pujoji will help us out with the time again. Namo Ramana.
नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय।
I request Venkatesh ji to give us the summing up remarks. Namo Ramana sir.
Namo Ramana. Oh. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dhyanamoolam Gurur Murti, Pujamulam Gurur Padam, Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam, Mokshamulam Gurur Kripaha, Mokshamulam Gurur Kripaha. Namo Ramana. This aspect of auspicious and inauspicious, if you really look at it, if Bhagavan says Hridaya Kuhara Madhye Kevalam Brahma Matram, then imagine your kidney starts giving you trouble or your lungs start giving you trouble. Do you blame it? Do you blame the kidneys? Oh, kidneys, why are you giving me trouble? Oh, lungs, why are you giving me trouble? No, you don't never say that. Why? Because you think that's part of you. That's part of you, though you cannot see all that. You can't see the lungs. You can't see the kidneys at all. Nothing you can see inside. But you never blame him that, because of them, I'm having a bad time. You never say that. So, but these stars and planets, we can see only the sun and the with the naked eye. Most of the time, we can only see the sun and the moon, and and we keep on blaming. Oh, there must be something outside in time and space because of which I'm having a bad time. Some people say, oh, you're going through the 7-year period of bad time, so you're going to have a bad time. So once you put it in your mind that you're going to have a bad time, you will only have a bad time only. So because some Joshi tells you you're going to have a bad time for 7 years, oh, then you say, now is 2023, for 7 more years till 2030, I'm going to have a bad time. And believe me, you will only have a bad time. You will not have a good time. Why? Because you're always living in their mind. When you're living in the mind, you are looking outside some planet outside and this and that and saying this is auspicious, this is not auspicious. But Bhagavan, what is the nature of God? God is omnipresent, is omnipotent and omniscient. Forget omnipotent and omniscient, for omnipresent. Where is he not? If he is not, if he is everywhere, then what is an auspicious time and what is an inauspicious time? Every moment is valuable. Okay, let's come to this aspect of doing self inquiry. When can you do self inquiry? You can do it today. And when can you do self inquiry? You can do in this moment. Oh, really? You can do it in this moment? Yeah. Okay, well, then what is this day and moment? Day and moment, again, you're stuck in time and space. Again, you're thinking, this moment I can do self inquiry. This day I can do so. The past has gone, future nobody knows, but I am going to do it now. Do it now. But no, Bhagavan says, what did Bhagavan say? Let's remember this. This is the punchline we should never forget. Bhagavan says, Summa ir. Bhagavan didn't say, Ippo Summa ir. He didn't say Ippo Simma iri. That means stay, be quiet now. He didn't say now. Very important point. He said Summa iri, that's all. There was no concept of time and space at all. He says you just have to be. When you be, there is no present, there is no past, there is no future. There's only being. So this is a very important thing. Otherwise, what happened? This mind will fool us. Oh, I'm going to do self-inquiry for 15 minutes. This 15 minutes is all, it is all in time and space. It's all in the mind space. It gives you some temporary feeling, oh, I did self-inquiry for 15 minutes. But Bhagavan is saying you have to be established in that silence. And in being establishing in the silence, there's no concept of time, space. So when you are there, Bhagavan is saying, then you are not affected in samsara at all. Because everything is only you. There's only that omnipresent God, which is it's only that. So important thing is we need to understand with clarity absolute manana and nididhyasana, that summa iram is just being and nothing else. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Namo Ramana.
Namo Ramana, sir. That was wonderful.
Namo Ramana.
Thank you so much. Namo Ramana. I request Vaibhavji and Pratnama to chant the Ashtotram for us. Namo Ramana, sir. Namo Ramana.
नमो रमण भारद्वाज विश्वनाथ विरचितम् श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तर शतनामावलिः अपार सच्चित् सुखवारिराशे यस्योर्मिमात्रम् भुवनं समस्तम् गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरम् चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि ॐ महासेन महोंसेन जाताय नमः ॐ श्रीरमणाय नमः ॐ गुरवे नमः ॐ अखण्डसंविदाकाराय नमः ॐ महौजसे नमः ॐ कारणोद्भवाय नमः ॐ जगद्धितावताराय नमः ॐ श्रीभूमिनाथस्थलोत्थिताय नमः ॐ पराशरकुलोत्तंसाय नमः ॐ सुन्दरार्यतपःफलाय नमः ॐ कमनीयसुचारित्राय नमः ॐ सहायाम्बा सहायवते नमः ॐ शोणाचलमहोलीनमानसाय नमः ॐ स्वर्णहस्तकाय नमः ॐ श्रीमद्द्वादशान्तमहास्थले लब्धविद्योदयाय नमः ॐ महाशक्तिनिपातेन प्रबुद्धाय नमः ॐ परमार्थविदे नमः ॐ तीव्राय नमः ॐ पितृपदान्वेषिणे नमः ॐ इन्दुमौळिना पितृमते नमः ॐ पितुरादेशतः शोणशैलं प्राप्ताय नमः ॐ तपोमयाय नमः ॐ उदासीनाय नमः ॐ महायोगिने नमः ॐ महोत्साहाय नमः ॐ कुशाग्रदिये नमः ॐ शान्तसङ्कल्पसंरम्भाय नमः ॐ सुसन्दृशे नमः ॐ सवित्रे नमः ॐ स्थिराय नमः ॐ तपक्षपितसर्वाङ्गाय नमः ॐ पुल्लाम्बुजविलोचनाय नमः ॐ चन्द्रिकासितहासश्रीमण्डिताननमण्डलाय नमः ॐ च्यूतवाट्यां समासीनाय नमः ॐ निताखिलविभ्रमाय नमः ॐ वेदवेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञाय नमः ॐ चिन्मुद्रिणे नमः ॐ त्रिगुणातिगाय नमः ॐ विरूपाक्षगुहावासाय नमः ॐ विराजदचलाकृतये नमः ॐ उद्दीप्तनयनाय नमः ॐ पूर्णाय नमः ॐ रचिताचलताण्डवाय नमः ॐ गम्भीराय नमः ॐ परमाचार्याय नमः ॐ सुप्रसन्नाय नमः ॐ अभयप्रदाय नमः ॐ दक्षिणास्यनिभाय नमः ॐ धीराय नमः ॐ दक्षिणाभिमुखाय नमः ॐ स्वराजे नमः ॐ महर्षि ऋषये नमः। ॐ भगवते नमः। ॐ ईड्याय नमः। ॐ भूमविद्याविशारदाय नमः। ॐ विमलाय नमः। ॐ दीर्घदर्शिने नमः। ॐ आप्ताय नमः। ॐ ऋजुमार्गप्रदर्शकाय नमः। ॐ समदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्यदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्याय नमः। ॐ प्रशान्ताय नमः। ॐ अमितविक्रमाय नमः। ॐ सुकुमाराय नमः। ॐ सदानन्दाय नमः। ॐ मृदुभाषिणे नमः। ॐ दयार्णवाय नमः। ॐ श्रीशोणाचलऋद्बोधस्कन्दाश्रमनिकेतनाय नमः। ॐ सद्दर्शनोपदेष्ट्रे नमः। ॐ सद्भक्तवृन्दपरिवृताय नमः। ॐ गणेशमुनिभृङ्गेन सेविताङ्घ्रिसरोरुहाय नमः। ॐ गीतोपदेशसारादिग्रन्थसञ्चिन्नसंशयाय नमः। ॐ वर्णाश्रममतातीताय नमः। ॐ रसज्ञाय नमः। ॐ सौम्याय नमः। ॐ आत्मवते नमः। ॐ सर्वावनिमतस्थानाम् आराध्याय नमः। ॐ सर्वसद्गुणिने नमः। ॐ आत्मारामाय नमः। ॐ महाभागाय नमः। ॐ मातृमुक्तिविधायकाय नमः। ॐ विनताय नमः। ॐ विनुताय नमः। ॐ विप्राय नमः। ॐ मुनीन्द्राय नमः। ॐ पावकोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ दर्शनादगसंहारिणे नमः। ॐ मौनेन स्वात्मबोधकाय नमः। ॐ मृच्छान्तिकरसान्निध्याय नमः। ॐ स्मरणाद्बन्धमोचकाय नमः। ॐ अन्तस्तिमिरचण्डांशवे नमः। ॐ संसारार्णवतारकाय नमः। ॐ शोणादृशस्तुतिद्रष्टे नमः। ॐ हार्दविद्याप्रकाशकाय नमः। ॐ अविच्युतनिजप्रज्ञाय नमः। ॐ नैसर्गिकमहातपसे नमः। ॐ कमण्डलुधराय नमः। ॐ शुभकौपीनवसनाय नमः। ॐ गुहाय नमः। ॐ दण्डपाणये नमः। ॐ कृपापूर्णाय नमः। ॐ भवरोगविषग्वराय नमः। ॐ स्कन्दाय नमः। ॐ देवतमाय नमः। ॐ अमर्त्याय नमः। ॐ सेनान्ये नमः। ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः। ॐ श्रीरमण भगवते नमः। श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तरशतनाम पूजां समर्पयामि। यस्थानोररुणाचलस्य पदयोः स्मृत्याजनिं प्राप्यत दिव्यानुग्रहसुप्रवाह विवशास्तादात्मभावं गतः विनिष्टस्वगभीरनित्यतपसा लोकान् पुनास्येकराट् तस्मै श्रीरमणाय ते नमैदं लोकोत्तरज्योतिषे। ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय।
नमो रमण प्रार्थना में नमो रमण जी, नमो रमण वेंकटेश जी, नमो रमण उज्ज्वल जी, नमो रमण
Ramana.